What's up, nerds? Welcome to Cool Nerd Show. I'm Steve Trezza.
Scott Burnett.
And we've got our review for the movie everyone's been waiting for. It's Captain America Civil War.
Couldn't tell.
Not Iron Man Civil War.
Yeah, well.
Captain, even though I'm wearing an Iron Man shirt.
Yeah, well, Robert Downey Jr. was like, I don't want to do Iron Man anymore. And then he did The Judge and it bombed. And he's like, I'll do Iron Man.
Yeah, because they started the script and then he was like, you know what? I could be on that, right?
And you know what this needs? A little dash Iron Man.
But anyway, we're gonna go over the story. We're gonna go over the special effects, the acting. We're gonna tell you what we liked about it, what we didn't like about it, and then at the end, we're gonna give you our grade.
Also,
You should know.
spoilers.
I was gonna say I'm Team Cap,
I'm Team Iron Man.
and we're sitting on the wrong side, but whatever.
Yeah, but these guys face this way, and we're
always on this side. So
Yeah.
so Civil War, Cool Nurture against the Pops.
Yeah.
So anyway, like Scott just said,
Spoilers, a lot of them, all of them.
spoilers.
Or if you want to see sort of a spoiler-free review, watch our Cool Nerdcast from the week of whenever this
Close
came
to
out.
about an hour in.
Yeah.
No. We
first off.
talked about it. Yeah.
First thing.
First thing we talked about in the Nerdcast
So
was
go watch our spoiler-free.
Captain America. Spoiler free, we talked about it for like 15 minutes
Yeah, so
in our
come back.
Nerdcast. Okay, so let's start off with the story. Now, what did you think of the overall story of Captain America Civil War?
There was goods and bads. The whole premise for them fighting was a little shaky to me.
So basically, you have...
You don't watch this movie for the story. Let's be real.
Well, that's true. But you come in the beginning, they're in Africa.
Yeah.
They accidentally... Crossbones, who's in it for 2 seconds,
Yeah.
tries to blow himself up and take Cap out with him. You have Scarlet Witch that hurls him up into the air, and he takes out
a skyscraper.
He takes out like 3 or 4 floors of a
Yeah.
skyscraper that house Wakandan scholars
Yeah.
that are traveling there for school. And then that starts a whole controversy of General Ross proposes this bill. I forget, they call it the
Sokovia Accords.
Yep, there you go. Which you have some heroes sign it, some heroes don't, and it causes a civil war. More of a disagreement.
But the thing is, all behind it, the whole driving force of the movie is Baron Zemo, who's just some guy. He's not the second command in Hydra. He's some guy who lost his family.
He's not the Baron Zemo we know from the comics.
He's basically, he lost his family, and he starts this whole thing. Just him and a Bucky mask.
Yeah.
He wears a Bucky mask to frame him, which kickstarts the whole thing. It's very Scooby-Doo, and it's very stupid. Marvel can't get a villain right. But you don't really watch this for the villain, you watch for your superheroes fighting. But if they're going to use that as a device to move the story along, you gotta do better than that.
I thought that part of the story was a little far-fetched.
Yeah.
Especially that they were like, to jump to conclusions that much that it was Winter Soldier that did that when you can't see his face, everything like that. But I was able to look past it. I didn't really like Baron Zemo. I thought he was not very well developed. Yeah. I thought, he's just some guy. Yeah. He wasn't in Hydra. Like I was expecting, I knew he wasn't going to be Purple Mask Baron Zemo, but I wanted Purple Mask, holding the fucking brandy or whatever the fuck he's drinking, Baron Zemo.
But him doing what he did and where they chose to reveal it is my biggest gripe with the movie, because the airport scene you see in the trailers, and obviously you've seen it, spoilers, so good.
Yeah.
So fantastic.
That's more of the action. That's not really the story.
No, but what I'm saying is it ties into what I'm saying. You go on such a high, and then once that's over, you still have 40 minutes left of this movie.
That's true.
And then Iron Man and Cap, they have a truce, and then the only reason why they had a truce is so Zemo can reveal his plan, show that Bucky killed Iron Man's parents, and then they fight again. The only reason for that truce was so they could reveal the plan and then get them to fight again. So you see them fight all movie, and then there is a truce, and then they're back to fighting. It paced it out really weird, and the third act of that movie, it was weak. I know
that
was my biggest gripe with the movie.
I know you didn't like it, but I liked it. I thought I thought the third act was fine. I thought the third act was more of a personal, dramatic fight, whereas the airport fight was, the Big Bang. The airport fight was what you came to watch the movie for.
I was I thought that if they swapped them, and Iron Man seeing that his parents died by Bucky's hands caused him to want to fight, and then it ended with the big action, and then you could have your personal moments within there, it would have felt like a gradual scale up into a big moment, and it left you off into the rest of the MCU. This kind of felt like a weird dip, and it like...
I liked it, and I thought the story was very well written, and I thought, outside of Baron Zemo, I thought the way that it progressed and everything, it was fantastic. I really wanted to see someone die.
Yes.
I really, honestly, for dramatic effect, I really wanted to see, here's what I wanted, all right? This is what I wanted from the story. In the comic books, you have that whole fight scene in the middle of New York. Now, I'm just going to say right now, like, for people who are like, oh, because I know there are fans out there that are like, what are you talking about? It was awesome. No, the movie was awesome. I'm going to give it a very high score when we get to it. But this is what I really wanted to see. Captain America and Iron Man fighting in the middle of New York, just like in the comic book. And Captain America's winning, and he's about to do it, and he lifts his shield up to do it. And then Iron Man's sitting there, he's like, go ahead, do it, because he's all like beaten up, and Captain America's basically going to like kill him. He goes to do it, but then the people of New York City, firemen, police officers, and just people on the street, go and grab Cap's arm and stop him. And he realizes, oh my God, like, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Drops his shield. Like, people are actually afraid of him, and they're stopping him from hurting. Drops his shield, gives up. Handcuffs. He turns himself in. They go to court. The next is the court day. That's where Civil War ends.
Yeah.
But then after it, the prologue, the court day, you have him on his way to court. Boom, he gets shot by someone unknown. We don't know. He gets shot, dies. Zoom out with him dying in Sharon Carter's arms. Or we have him die, and then you have like maybe a little bit of sadness here and there. Yeah. Such a impactful panel in the comic was Captain America lying dead on a table and Iron Man sitting next to him, holding his helmet, crying his eyes out, and just like confessing, like I knew we were never going to be friends again if I did it, and I should have never done it, and I didn't ever want to come to this. Yeah. That, and then just end on that. And but Marvel never ends on anything sad, ever. Yeah. Ever ends on anything sad, so they weren't going to do it.
And you could just bring him back with a time stone.
Yeah.
Just do it. Oh, I really wanted him to die.
But anyway, I dragged that on a little bit, but that's what I wanted. And we didn't get it, but I still was very satisfied with it, so whatever.
Yeah. I didn't hate it either.
Yeah.
Steve's a big Marvel guy.
So Scott tries to bring me down.
I don't try to bring him down.
Peg.
It's just whenever you come out of a movie, you're on a movie high. I don't want to give a review and be too like gushing about it when I did it the same thing with Ultron and I regret it.
Okay, so moving on from the story, how about we'll talk about the acting in the movie.
Yeah. Robert Downey Jr. I think continues to be the best actor in this film, quickly followed by Chadwick Boseman and Tom Holland. Chadwick Boseman who plays Black Panther and Tom Holland who plays Spider-Man, because they embody those characters perfectly.
I think they just hit the nails on the head with them.
Yeah.
Especially Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Spider-Man that is Spider-Man. Tom Holland is Spider-Man.
If you have any sort of comic book movie fatigue with the MCU, go see this movie, and those two characters alone will refresh you and have this new excitement for the MCU.
I completely agree. And I think that that Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther was fantastic. Yeah. He created his own accent for Black Panther. For a Wakandan accent.
Yeah, he took a map and he saw where Marvel placed Wakanda in Africa, studied the dialects of the surrounding areas, and melded them all into one Wakandan accent. Which is so cool, like, to put that much effort. Sometimes you can just cash a paycheck and be like, I'm a superhero now. He did his, like, research.
Yeah.
And I instantly cared about him when his dad died. I was like, oh no, they killed him. Like, and you only see him for a few seconds.
Yeah.
But Marvel has a way to write their characters where you instantly get attached to them.
I agree. And especially at the end, you see that he's he's the bigger man of everyone.
He's the only one out of the whole group to kind of rise above it all.
Exactly.
And he's be like, no, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, and Paul Rudd was also fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
When, I didn't think he would have, as big as a part as he did, and he was hilarious.
Captain America.
Mr. Lang?
It's an honor. I'm shaking your hand too long. Wow, this is awesome. Captain America. I know you too. You're great.
Easily.
Big of a part.
He
turned into Giant Man.
He was easily the funniest part of the entire movie.
Okay, so I'm gonna agree and disagree in the same breath. The scenes where he was playing off people, he was hilarious. The scenes where he was Ant-Man or Giant Man and he was in a studio trying to get comedic timing down with a CGI character, it felt forced.
I don't think so.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Some of his lines I laughed, and some of them I was like, eh. He could have.
I loved when he's my favorite part was when he picked up Captain America's shield and called him by his full name.
Yeah.
He's here's your shield, Captain America.
Yeah,
that
fine.
was fantastic.
Because he can more, but when he's just a CGI character trying to get his comedic timing down with not being in the moment, it's a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
And some of it, if I had to pick a negative, it was some of his jokes felt forced.
I thought he was fantastic.
He was fantastic, especially when he was Giant Man.
Another thing when we were
get off. Slapping Spider-Man off his face.
When we were when I was in the theater, my girlfriend's next to me. This has nothing to do with the acting, but I'm gonna talk about it anyway. The part where Chris Evans is holding
the
plane and holding the helicopter and holding the bar, and he's super jacked. I looked over at Laura and she's
yep,
with this face on, and then she's told me that the part when all of the superheroes were fighting, were just that whole airplane fight scene.
Might as well be.
She looked over at me and I was just
yeah.
So it was perfect.
It serves all groups of people. I also had the same reaction as Laura when he did that.
Well, I mean,
I looked at Katie. I looked at my girlfriend.
Chris Evans is huge.
I looked at my girlfriend. She really didn't have any kind of reaction because she actually hates Chris Evans and Captain America. But Captain America is lame. But anyway,
you're lame.
I looked over. I was like, Christ, he's hot. And she's like,
okay, so.
But moving on, Spider-Man. Can we talk about Spider-Man?
Yeah,
now?
let's talk about
Spider-Man. Holy shit! Everybody was gushing in the reviews over Spider-Man. I was like, how good could he be? Nailed it. Nailed every single absolute little nuance of Spider-Man, whether he's Peter Parker, whether he's Spider-Man. It was great.
Are you not excited for his movie?
I was tentative when I heard he was they're trying to make it the Marvel Cinematic John Hughes movie. And I was like, it's going to be love. I'm excited.
It's going to be good.
As soon as the tickets go out, I'm buying it. He's such a smart ass when he's talking. He's fighting and he's complimenting Falcon on his carbon fiber wings. And Falcon's like, you realize in a normal fight, people don't talk this much. He's like, oh, yeah, sorry, my bad. And just the interactions between his characters and who he's fighting.
Everyone else.
And he's just so eager to please Iron Man, and it's endearing and it's funny and he's adorable. Mm-hmm. He's perfect. He's perfect.
Okay, so let's get into the special effects. Whole movie. I don't think there's anything bad about special effects. Whole movie, beginning to end was fight scenes.
2 instances.
Fantastic.
My nitpicks: the scene when they're chasing all the cars. Or no, it was in Africa when they're chasing down Crossbones. Some of the car crashes looked really bad. When it was
I didn't notice.
There's these 2 cars that veered off. I don't know why it caught my eye, but it was very janky. It I don't know. I guess they were just this is 3 seconds. Who cares? And
I didn't notice.
In the airport scene, it is painfully obvious Robert Downey Jr. is not in an Iron Man suit.
In the airplane.
When his helmet comes off.
Oh.
It's so.
I noticed it a little bit, but it didn't bother me.
It didn't look as good as the other Iron Man suits. That's why I was I guess because it was so close. It was a reshoot, and it was so close to. I guess they didn't have time.
Or maybe maybe initially they. I don't know. He flew down, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever.
Helmet, and it came off. I was like, that looks. When it was close, it looked.
I don't think it was
weird.
painfully obvious.
Compared to the other times he showed up. I mean, I noticed it, but who am I? Right?
I didn't. I noticed it, but it didn't bother me too much. It wasn't to the point where I was
look
at that.
I was like, oh, he's in a CGI suit. They couldn't make him one? They have all the money in the world.
He's got some suits made.
Yeah, I know. Why couldn't they just use that?
Oh,
This is in storage or something.
I don't know. I'm not on the production team.
Yeah, come on, production team.
The direction by the Russo brothers was awesome. They know how to make a fucking action movie.
Yes, they do.
Hands down. They are the best directors on Marvel's payroll.
They also
I'm
hired
glad they're doing the Infinity Wars.
Yeah. They also hired the John Wick directors to do some second team stuff, fight scenes and stuff, and you could kind of tell the shift between the two almost.
Yeah, but
wasn't a bad thing.
But those were good. They were great.
And also, if any comment on the direction, I already commented on the story that the third act was kind of meh for me.
Whatever. Okay, so I think that's really it now. Are we gonna give it a grade?
Let's say what was your favorite part of the movie?
My favorite part of the movie?
Well, obviously the airport scene, but like
probably the
narrow
airport scene.
Narrow it down.
Oh man, there's just so many. It's just the movie had so many good parts. Not necessarily a part, but I loved Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I loved Black Panther, and I loved. If I were to narrow down the airport scene, honestly, I really loved Giant Man.
Yeah,
I thought it was fantastic because I almost knew it was coming because of this pop, Giant Man pop that I bought, and I was like, he's obviously in the movie, but I was also was like, well, he might not be in the movie, and he was, and yeah, that was great. I also love that they put General Ross in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was your favorite part? Parts.
I'll kind of run down in the order they appeared in the movie. When Bucky was running, and you kind of sensed Black Panther was coming. You're like, oh, and you see the shadow, and he lands, and he does like the Bruce Lee thing, and he has his hero pose. I immediately was like, this is perfect. I can't wait to see what else he does. And then the airport scene, obviously, anything with Spider-Man in it.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff that happened with Giant Man, like when he grows big, it kind of like smash cuts to Spider-Man. He goes, "Oh shit!" And you don't expect Spider-Man to curse.
Yeah.
And Iron Man flying around. He's like, "Anybody else have any great, fantastic powers they're keeping hidden?" Also, when Tom Holland was taking down Giant Man, he's like, "Did you guys ever see that really old movie, Empire Strikes Back?"
Of course, you like that.
Yeah, because they're like, "We have the rights for Star Wars, using the title." And then Rose was like, "God, how young is he?" And Tony goes, "I didn't carbon date him, but he's on the younger side." And then he swings and ties up his legs, and Rhodey and Iron Man give him like rocket uppercuts and knock him out.
Yeah.
That was the highlight of the airport scene for me.
Because I kind of was on the side of everything good about this movie. The one thing I didn't like about the movie, outside of Baron Zemo, the one thing I didn't like about this movie was I hate how every Marvel movie has to have this super happy ending.
Yeah.
I really wanted that Captain America is dead ending. That sad, down, Empire Strikes Back ending.
They kind of all end the same way with like heroic music and a voiceover.
They do. I really wanted that, but I still think the movie was awesome. Let's grade it.
Okay.
So here at Cool Nerd Show, we've got a new grading scale, and here it is. So, Scott, if you were to grade this movie from 1 to 10, what would you give Captain America Civil War?
So due to reasons previously stated about awkward pacing, overcrowding, and the third act falling on its face a little bit, I docked it just a tiny bit. I gave it an 8.7.
All right. I was almost going to give it a perfect 10.
This is my fourth favorite Marvel movie.
This is my first favorite Marvel movie. I just didn't give it a perfect 10 because nobody died, and I really wanted that dramatic death.
Morbid as hell.
So I'm going to give it a 9.8, which comes out to a
9.25, but we'll round it up.
We round up here. 9.3. But I mean, look at all these characters. They're all alive except for him.
He's dead
and he's paralyzed. But everyone else is still alive. There's so many characters.
Way too many.
Anyway, before we go, I want to share a trailer for Alexa P. He's another channel. He does some really weird, avant-garde, awesome video game stuff. So I hope you're high. Here it is.
Check it out.
What did they expect? This. No.
Whoa, that was weird. Okay.
I'm just a tiny bit weirder now for watching that.
But that was really awesome. It takes a lot of time to do that kind of editing.
Yeah, definitely does.
So, thank you for watching. Please like, favorite, subscribe. Check out all of our other stuff on our channel. And we will see you guys over there.
Bye.
For more nerd videos like this one, be sure to subscribe to our channel and follow us on social media.